Alright guys, what is up? My name is XIKIZOID and today we're gonna be continuing the playthrough of Cottage Story. I'm super excited to do this. I really wanna continue this game. This is just a demo, obviously, but it's a really cool game. I really enjoy the art style. I really enjoy the sound effects and the music. It's fun to play this game. It's fun to play indie games in general. Just to have this entire enterprise of one person or a group of people and to just be motivated by what they have created and what they've done, what they've brought into this world. So it's kind of like a game has a life of its own, you know. So I don't know. I'm just rambling right now, so maybe I should just start the game. Let's have some fun times with this game. Foxglove should quell your heart palpitations and other heart-related problems. However, the valerian roots are purely supplemental. If you steep them in hot water, it makes for a soothing tea. I would recommend you to avoid alcohol. It will only worsen your heart problems. Oh, that's true, yeah. Thank you, XIKIZOID. I damn near thought I died this morning, but this puts me at ease, says the gnome. Or the gnome. The elderly gnome slurs his words as he's missing about half his teeth, but the sentiment holds. He hands XIKIZOID a sack that he prepared in exchange. XIKIZOID peeks inside out of curiosity. These mushrooms look delicious. I'm sure they'll go great with stew. Aye, my pleasure. They're the biggest I could get my hands on. Another happy client marks the end of the morning. Most of the creatures living in Rosenworth operated early in the day, which are apothecary's busiest hours. Okay, now we have the beautiful restroom. Well, I was about to say restroom. We have the beautiful living room here. And now that XIKIZOID has some downtime, she begins cleaning up around the house. She picks up a large laundry rack and walks it through the back door. The night before, it started pouring all of a sudden and drenched all of XIKIZOID's fresh laundry. Now it was sunny as a summer day without a single cloud in the sky. That was spring for you. Yeah, spring is definitely like changing the weather constantly. Each day is different. You don't know how to dress. If you should bring a big jacket or like a tiny jacket or like how you should dress up. I don't know. So it is spring right now, by the way. So the at least over here. And it's a fun experience. Today it was very sunny. Yesterday it was raining, exactly like they described it here. So after returning to the living room, Ziki dusts all the cabinets and tables with a feather duster, cleans all the dirty dishes left from breakfast, and then reorganizes the medicine cabinet. That was routine. Even when Catriona was alive, and this was only a few of XIKIZOID's duties, but she never once found it tiring. In fact, Ziki felt lost without the set schedule. That's interesting. Some people do really well with schedules. I think I'm one of those people, but I find it hard to like sit down and make a schedule, you know. Even though having a schedule can keep you like really productive and like keep you on track to your goals and to your like achievements. So as she checks each label, jar and can, she notices that she's low on feverfew? What is feverfew? One of her regulars always comes in for feverfew since they suffer from chronic migraines, so it wasn't an option for her to be low on this medication. Ziki would have to go on a quick foraging trip. Oh, we're going on a trip. Fortunately, feverfew are perennial, meaning they grow year-round. Ziki found it hard to imagine what chronic migraines might feel like without reprieve. Yeah, that's bad. Migraines are bad. The regular described it as a jackhammering to the head for hours on end. One time, Ziki had accidentally hammered her thumb trying to build a cabinet and the pain was already unbearable. She should be glad. Growing up, she was always reminded of her good health and the only treatment she would see was for small injuries and bruises. Okay, so we're pretty fortunate, and this is a beautiful, beautiful flower meadow over here. I really, really like it. Feverfew grows just east of the cottage. The trees are scattered more sparsely so the meadows see more sun. Wildflowers grow in every nook and cranny, but Ziki realizes she's not alone. A familiar mushroom-topped goblin is bent over a small patch that's been picked clean. Yeah, that is Klavka, I believe. Klavka! Hey, what's up, XIKIZOID? What are you doing here, Klavka? I noticed that you were low on feverfew, so I thought I would pick some for you. Yeah, oh, that's so nice. Pick was putting it lightly. It looks like Klavka was under the entire ground, exposing the naked dirt. How did she do that with her bare hands? Well, she's a gnome. Klavka herself looks as though she transformed into a plant holder. Her coat is filled to the brim with flowers and all the stems and leaves are poking out. That's thoughtful of you to do this for me. Klavka, I think those are chamomiles. What do you mean? Chamomiles look similar to feverfew. If you look at the stem, they're too thin. It's all bent and bruised. Usually feverfew is tougher than this. Oh, we can put these back, right? That's not how plants work. That's not how plants work at all. They're already like plucked, so it's okay. I won't let them go to waste. With this much chamomile, I should be stocked for months. Yeah, tea. You can make tea from chamomile. You know chamomile tea? And let me help you prepare it. Don't even think about trying to do all the work. I know how you are. I remember when Catriona taught us how to tell them apart. She would always say, if it's firm and tough, it's feverfew, but cut short and cute, it's chamomile. That's a little like mnemonic to have. Yeah, and then she let us eat some of the chamomile when we found it. I always saw her having it with her salad, but it doesn't taste very good. It's much better as tea. I wish I paid more attention. Back then I was just in it for the free food, but I never thought that she would pass so suddenly. Me too. I really miss her. I miss her too, Klavka says. I'm glad that you're always helping me out, Klavka. It's less lonely this way. Yeah, then I guess I'll keep at it. Okay. To search different parts of the meadow, Klavka insisted that she needed to be able to find a feverfew without Ziki's help, so she left her to her own devices. It did not take long for Ziki to find a real feverfew growing in a hedge with the little white flowers in bundles, but as she bends down to grab the plant's base, she hears a hiss. A snake! Why is there a snake here? Shoo, go away! Ziki steps back, but the snake slithers closer to them. She grabs for a nearby stick and attempts to wrench the snake away from the flowers, but it's like trying to drink soup with a fork. Oh, and I'm loving the music. Can you guys hear that? Let me just, preferences, music volume. Okay, you guys should be able to hear the music right now. It's super fun, like very, very, like fun, fantastical music. I love it. So the snake keeps getting closer with each failed attempt, and out of desperation, Ziki knocks the snake into the air with her stick. Ziki, I think I found some. The snake is headed straight for Klavka. Watch out! Without flinching, Klavka grabs the writhing noodle mid-air. It hisses and nips at Klavka, but she hisses back until the snake falls silent. She tosses the creature aside. I don't think I'll be bothering us anymore. Thank goodness you're here, Ziki says. I mean, we say. Looks like it was guarding that patch over there. If you come across any other pests, just point me in their direction. I guess we work better as a team. You're like a personal bodyguard. Klavka flips out her knife and does a cool knife trick. She puts on an extra tough and menacing face. If anyone even looks in your direction, I will cripple them. Is that how it goes? Haha, that's perfect. Ziki offers Klavka her basket and they put together their combined findings. Maybe while we're out here I can teach you how to kill snakes and rats. I think I'm gonna have to pass on that. Yeah, I don't wanna be killing like animals out here. You sure it's not as hard as it looks? Most pests are weaklings. Killing makes me uncomfortable. I also don't have claws, so it will probably be harder for me. That's true. Teaching you how to wield a dagger might be easier. You're already pretty good at cutting stuff up. You mean cooking? Yeah, like when you're cutting cucumbers really fast and it looks like you're gonna cut your hand, but you don't. That's how you wanna use a knife in a fight. Ziki thought about it for a moment. She supposed she could benefit from some self-defense. After all, it would be bad to just keep relying on Klavka. I might take you up on that, yeah. The two are bent over collecting more feverfew. Once they finish plucking the patch, they straighten and stretch under the cool morning light. This should be enough, and it's awfully nice out today. Then we should take a walk, says Klavka. It is bad to keep yourself holed up in that house all day. What if a client comes by while I'm out? They can come back later. You should think about yourself first sometimes. That is true. There's a path that's been worn into the ground from the meadow into the forest. It is likely that Catriona herself had developed it over the years of walking the same routes over and over again in Rostenward. After all, only humans would leave such an obvious mark of civilization. Hey, these look good, don't they? We could get some for the festival coming up. Which ones? Klavka points to the sprawling walnut tree among the plethora of elms and ash. Ziki nods her head. The residents of Rossen were tough to find any reason to celebrate, drink and be merry, and the spring festival was no different. It was sort of a potluck that everyone partook for mutual benefit. That sounds really nice, actually, having a little community there that is really like supportive of each other, and they have this potluck and everybody brings something to eat. That seems like very wholesome and very nice. So Klavka scales the enormous tree before her and picks the nuts off the tree one by one. She drops them as Ziki swerves her body to try and catch the falling nuts into her basket. When the basket is filled evenly with both the feverfew and nuts, Klavka leaps back down, landing on all fours. Klavka? They take a circular route around the forest back to Ziki's cottage. On their way back, the two come across an open clearing marked by golden rays of sunlight. This is so beautiful right here. I can see some flowers here as well, some white flowers or maybe weeds, blossoming weeds, and the trees are very beautiful. The light work is amazing. I have to say, this art style is really, really unique. I've never seen such like a... It looks painted on, but it's obviously done in like digital format, so it's really, really unique. And there's a distant flute playing, which is the signature instrument of the satyrs, or satyrs. And as they approach, they can see the silhouettes of several creatures. One satyr is playing on a pan flute while the other is dancing. Wild animals slowly join in the procession, with the deer curiously inching closer to the satyr playing the flute. Squirrels descend from their trees and frogs croak in tune to the flute playing. Oh, this is such a magical scene! The dancing satyr recognizes Ziki and smiles. Ziki gets closer and chooses to pet the deer or feed the animals. Let's feed the animals, I think. It's just me or the squirrels eyeing my basket? Animals only really want one thing, huh? No, that's not true. They're very warm little creatures, okay? So Ziki bends down and sprinkles some nuts on the ground. She watches as the squirrels strategically break open the walnut and nibble on the insides. Some feet away, she notices other squirrels lounging around with their stomachs flat on the forest floor. Oh my god, that's so cute. Such a cute, like, vision, like mind vision or whatever. Two presumably younger squirrels chase each other, and some hide behind Ziki's feet. I'm no different than a tree to these guys. Ziki is about to feed a crushed walnut to the deer when it's suddenly taken from her hand. The dancing satyr chuckles as he stiffs the walnut into his face. He suddenly leans in close enough for Ziki to see his split pupils and dark brown eyes. Hello, Ziki. Mind if I have some? Says the satyr. Ziki swiftly inserts the whole walnut between the satyr's teeth as he gives a muffled yelp. Consider personal space first. Yeah. The satyr removes the walnut from his mouth and breaks it normally with a smile. You're a feisty one. Here I'm further away. I bet you I can catch any walnut you throw at me without my hands. Ziki smirks and tosses a walnut into his direction. Impressively, the satyr bends forward and balances it on the bridge of his nose before letting it fall into his hands. So he's a show-off. Too easy, come on, I trained my whole life for this. Ziki furrows her eyebrows and throws the next walnut in a high arc so it's hard to tell where it will land. The satyr eyes the walnut carefully, moving side to side to match the constantly changing trajectory. Like a dog catching a frisbee, he catches the walnut between his teeth. Ta-da! Even the satyr playing the pan flute pauses for a moment to command his friend. Ziki offers a polite applause. Klavka stands far away from the commotion, hidden by the brush. The brush or the bush? Goblins are a natural enemy to animals of prey, so she probably stepped back to let XIKIZOID have her fun. It would be better not to leave Klavka waiting. Okay. I hope you weren't bored out there. I wasn't bored. I managed to catch some fat ones. Some what? Klavka pulls her hand out from inside her coat and reveals a frog between her fingers, which, as advertised, is very fat. Oh my god, that's so cute. I love frogs, by the way. They used to be my favorite animal when I was a little bit younger. So we say, what a nice froggy. The fat ones are the most tender when roasted. I wish you hadn't told me that. Hey, don't knock it till you try. Don't you know why goblins are such a nice green color? I thought it was to adapt to the forest environment, not because of how many frogs you ate. Let me just drink some water, guys. Not to mention, frogs are red on the inside. They aren't like carrots where if you eat enough you actually turn a bit orange. Which is true, by the way. If you do eat a lot of carrots, like a huge, amazing, incredible amount, you will get, your skin is gonna be tinted a little bit orange. You can turn orange if you eat enough carrots. Weren't you just talking about eating frogs? Yeah, but I could become the only orange goblin in existence. That would be so cool. It will mix with the green. It might be closer to a brownish puke color. I could become the only brownish puke colored goblin in existence. Yeah, that's true. Klavka is out here trying to get that clout. So suddenly Klavka stops. She has a look on her face that means she either heard something dangerous or saw something shiny and therefore extremely intriguing. She bends down and rummages through dead leaves and dirt. Ziki expects Kafka to pick up a particularly glossy stone or rock. It's popular nowadays for goblins to line their den floor with shiny rocks the same way someone might refurbish their countertops to have a marble finish. When she stands back up, the gleam from the object is enough to catch even XIKIZOID's attention. It's a ring! Why would anybody have such an ornate-looking ring in the Rossen ward? Ziki wonders if Michael had lost it while he ventured into the woods, but it's unlikely that he wandered so deep. Kafka puts the ring up to her finger, but it's obvious it's not going to fit. Nonchalantly, she reaches over and grabs XIKIZOID's hand to try the ring on each of her fingers. Aha! A perfect fit! Are you proposing to me, Kafka? She stares blankly at XIKIZOID. Suddenly, she whips her hand away from her. Huh? What? No, I mean, why would I? It was a joke, you know how humans propose? Sorry, I thought you would get it. Oh yeah, I knew that. It's supposed to go on the ring finger anyway, so this wouldn't work. The ring is on XIKIZOID's pinky finger, but it cannot go past the first joint. Also, it's a very small ring actually. It might be a child's ring, maybe. She takes it off and returns it to Kafka. It looks valuable and it's still in good condition. Someone might have lost it recently. Or it got washed up by the river and landed here. I doubt they'll be needing it anymore. There's no river here. What? Kafka pockets it into her coat, which is immediately followed by an upset croak. Oh, wrong pocket. There's a frog in that pocket, dude. Kafka opens her coat to reveal lines of hidden pockets where she securely places the ring. She readjusts her coat. It is safer here anyway. Okay, so this is... Oh, we're back in the cottage. So the two friends continue. Oh, and there's a music change. That's so cool. The two friends continue to walk and talk while pushing past tall stalks of grass. Up ahead, Ziki could see the front of her cottage yard. I should probably check it to see if my laundry is dry yet. Your stuff got rained on too? It was raining so hard yesterday that the water seeped into my den. I'm still waiting for it to dry. Yeah, it's better than having a dry season though. Yeah, but what the hell happened to Michael actually? You know that guy that we played as in the beginning? I'm wondering if he got like lost in the rain or maybe injured again. I don't know, I'm worried kind of, so I guess we're gonna have to find out later on. So Kafka nods her head with a knowing expression. Better to be flooded than starving. By the way, I'm sorry for getting the wrong plant earlier. I probably wasted your time. What do you mean? I had lots of fun today. I thought I was just going to pick up some feverfew and then do some chores, but I'm glad I got to walk with you instead. And talk, you know. Really? Kafka says. Ziki gestures to her basket filled to the brim with the day's bounty. Who's gonna help me prepare all this chamomile anyway? You're right, I almost forgot I promised to help you cut them up. I'm sorry. Ziki opens the door to let Kafka in and they spend the rest of the day preparing more chamomile than a person could ever humanly need. Is that like a little foreshadowing? Because I know that we're probably not human, because it is like hinted at that we are a shapeshifter of some sort, so I do not believe that we're actually humans here, so I guess we're gonna have to find out, but I do believe there's like a tiny bit of foreshadowing here, which I'm very like interested in. So if you want a diverse medicine, elderberry extract is good for fevers, colds and headaches. It is great for families since it's an all-in-one medication. Children might not like the taste though. Ziki holds the jar the size of a sunflower seed between her pointer finger and thumb. A pixie with purple hair and shimmering pink wings flutters close to the jar, inspecting it with her small fingers. Oh, she's a tiny little fairy, is she? Or a pixie, actually. Is that the same thing? I don't know. This jar could be able to last you half a year. Oh, there we go. She's so beautiful. Oh my god. She has purple hair. Her whole aesthetic is like purple. Oh my god, that's so beautiful. Honestly, so pretty. And Pixie asks, how did you know this was what I was looking for? The little ones have been giving me sleepless nights, you know. The last thing I need to worry about is them getting sick one day. If that never happens, let me know right away. I can prescribe a more specific medicine if you would like. Oh, I know you can. You've never failed me before. You're such a bright kid. The pixie flies over and pinches XIKIZOID's cheek. It feels like Ziki just got adopted. Again. I've left some seeds on the counter for you. Maybe you can add it to that beautiful garden of yours. So she's giving us gifts and it's so fun, like such a cute little community that we have built. We're helping goblins and gremlins and like gnomes we're helping pixies, we're helping like everybody in this little community of like mystical creatures. It's so fantastic, honestly. So thank you, I'm sure they'll make a great addition. She's only dropped by the cottage a few times, but this pixie is always so nice. Ziki can already remember the flutter of her wings before she comes in, and the seeds she has are usually a flower that she has never seen before. Ziki opens the door for the pixie mother as she makes her way out. Do you mind if I bring the kids next time? I'm sure they would love to play in your garden, maybe even drink some nectar. I would love to meet them sometime. I hope to see you and your kids soon. So we're being like very welcoming, very forthcoming, you know. Well, hopefully not too soon, seeing as this is an apothecary and all. But thank you so much for all your help, Ziki. Ziki bristles at her own awkward statement and simply smiles and waves. Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. That was a real slick goldenrod. What? Ziki could recognize the only clothed satyr in Rossen world anywhere. Oh, this is who is this? I saw this guy in one of the screenshots actually of the game over on itch.io. If you guys want to see that, I'm gonna leave a link down in the description, so you can check out the whole game if you want to look at it. I mean, it's not out yet, like the whole game is not out, but just this huge demo with like 15,000 words. So can you let me die on the inside in peace? Oh, we have a relationship with this person already. Rufus, his name is. Okay, or the satyr, actually, not a person. Well, I was going to, but I actually dropped by to return these books. True to the satyr's words, he's carrying 3 books under his arms. Last week, Ziki lent Rufus the Primrose Trials, which is about a human who's cursed to appear like a monster. In order to lift his curse, he needs to find another person to fall in love with him. Oh my god, this is our... Dude, this is like our story. I'm guessing it is because we were like, we're like a shape-shifting creature, you know, and maybe we need to fall in love to lift this curse because we appear as a human right now, and this is kind of like reversed, you know, like inverted in a sense. So this is like a really interesting, I believe this is like the whole plot of this game. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I guess we're gonna have to find out in like future episodes. But Ziki found the story to be rather contrived. Is it really so hard to fall in love with someone who looks different from you? Did you want to get the new ones? Only if you're fine with it. Man, this series was a train wreck, huh? Tell me about it. Okay. Ooh, at first Rufus had just been a talkative neighbor and a frequent visitor to Ziki's cottage, but after a few conversations, she realized Rufus was one of the only creatures in Northern World who could read and write in the common tongue. Since then, he has been upgraded to a book buddy. Okay, so let's see. Ziki just joins Rufus by the coffee table with 2 sets of tea steeped with chamomile. So the chamomile we just got with Klavka. On the table is a bowl of checkerboard biscuits prepared for guests. Chamomile, my favorite, Rufus says. He suddenly fakes a shocked gasp. You didn't by chance know this and prepare it especially for me, did you, Amber Eyes? I'm so flattered. Who knew you could be this nice? And we're silent. Yeah, totally. You can have all the chamomile you want. Help yourself. Okay, and again, I want to like end this episode here just because I want to keep this a little bit shorter. And maybe like not over 25 or 30 minutes, just so you guys can like fit it into your schedule. So yeah, I want to end this episode here. I'll do a new one very soon. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this series, please leave a like. I would appreciate that. And yep, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.